Can my no, oh yeah, OBS not reset my audio settings? Maybe that'd be nice. Yeah. Anyways, welcome back to another stream. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground ongoing in Oklahoma. We have a tornado warning which extends from Kiowa all the way down to Dunbar and Kasoma, Oklahoma. We have a kind of a weird outline, which that may just be due to who issued this one. This was Tulsa, which is it kind of looks like this because of the CWA region, which over here would be Norman and over here is Tulsa. And then there's also, I think this is Fort Smith over here with that area of responsibility to be specific. We are kind of far from radar with some of these areas, but you can't see the strong velocities on this though, from at least aloft. I don't think we have anything in terms of at least in terms of a deep debris signature on this though, but we do have a confirmed tornado that is on the ground on this thing, confirmed by weather spotters to be specific. Make sure my other settings are all correct too. Is this on radar? This is on radar Omega, which I was gonna unmute that, but don't know if I really want to deal with radar Omega blasting audio into OBS when it resets every single alert on the map. But yeah. What's this? Media storm tracker report video tornado east side of Kiowa. Who's in this area, by the way? Let me take a look at the radar Omega, because looks like all the radar Omega chasers are down on the cell to the southwest down here, which did have a tornado potential on it earlier, but I don't know if it produced anything or not from that particular cell. But we did have, in case of this one here, that did end up producing, though. Still seems like we... Let me take a look at the different tilts here, because I don't know how much that's gonna help with seeing from afar. Probably not that much, at least on the anything higher than 1.4 degrees on here with a tilt. But why is my location still on? Location settings still on my phone? Because I was traveling back to my house, which nice thing is I can do live stream here on my main setup instead of my laptop. So yeah. One thing I haven't changed yet on my main setup here is well, because the clock is at the, where is it, over here, the top right of OBS. So yeah, that's definitely gonna be something I need to eventually change at some point. Which, if we still have a tornado ongoing, it's gonna be likely near Pine Top at this point. How fast is this moving? 20, southeast at 20, so it's moving pretty slowly. Slow mover with the tornado. And there's also a tornado postic on the cell over here, which you can see that there is rotation on it. Not super strong rotation. A couple other cells are probably going to be needing to watch, like this one right here, which if there's rotation, it's going to be in there. Closest town to that would be east of Yanush there in Oklahoma. And Albion. And then let's see if we got anything over here in the Arkansas side of things. We got a couple of serious warnings, which are warned for 60 mile per hour winds and golf ball size hail right now. Which, if we go over, let me actually go over to radar Omega while we're at it too. Give me like 2 seconds. All right, so here's Radar Omega, which even on Radar Omega, which the nice thing is with Radar Omega, at least here at my main setup, it'll actually load properly. But there's definitely a lot of contamination, and then also just another fact too that we're far from radar, at least with this cell. And as far as I know, this is the first tornado that we've had all day in terms of this severe weather event. We've had quite a few hail ports up here, a couple of large hail ports over near Sulphur, which those being 2.5-inch hailstones. We can see anything on this, because that's the one thing I do kind of like to do is compare what radar Omega looks like and then weatherwise. I mean, they're the same thing. I mean, it's the same radar, so they're seeing the same thing, but the color tables are completely different. So it gives you kind of a different idea of what you're looking at. Which, yeah, you can definitely tell. I mean, this would be your inflow, and this would be your hook over here. If there would be a area rotation on it at some point on that, or is trying to wrap up potentially, but obviously we don't. Well, Fort Smith radar is a lot closer to that one than this tornado warning storm over here. So I'm kind of trying to see between the radar over in Norman and then also obviously the one over here in Fort Smith, but not really. Once again, not really seeing much in terms of anything on CC, but velocities are indeed there. I think I kind of spiked my audio there with my microphone. That is the one thing about this microphone compared to the HyperX I use at my other setup. I mean, this one is a little bit more sensitive because it's XLR compared to the other one, which is USB. Which, I mean, not that you couldn't have a USB microphone be sensitive with audio, but yeah, look at the velocities from Fort Smith. And that's a loft, too. Even from the Norman radar, which I think a Norman radar is probably, or is just, yeah, the Norman radar, I think, has a lower scanning level for velocities, at least of right now. And that is back to radar indicated. They did issue a tornado warning out, which is going to be for Pine Top, Weather Star, and Counts, Oklahoma. Yeah, the normal radar is probably a little bit more accurate in terms of velocities, considering. I mean, we're in between radars at the same time, but I think Norman definitely has the better scan as of right now. One interesting little thing too. I mean, this could be just side lobe, but Norman's radar is definitely picked up some of the rotation, at least a loft potentially on this cell right here. So definitely this cell here right now, it's gonna be the one to watch for. They still have this tornado warning with observed, and obviously they issued a secondary tornado warning, which is just radar indicator rotation. Interesting. Apparently, there was a photograph that was taken. I'm guessing this looks to be like probably like 90s, if I had to guess. And it's an image that was carried all the way from the tornado that happened in Edmond yesterday, all the way over to Bartlesville. Which, if that is actually the case, that is wild. Which, I mean, it can happen when it comes to strong tornadoes, where they'll loft debris and it'll end up like multiple miles away. Yeah, so far today has other than the one tornado we've had so far, it has not been as big of a day as what we saw. Definitely not as big of a day as what we saw yesterday. That's for sure. Which we'll take a look at our enhanced risk area and all that. What the outlook that we have out right now, which they have a 5% from the southeastern Oklahoma all the way down into the Ark-La-Tex region here, going into northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and we do have a 5% going into Mississippi, but no SIG outlines there. We do have a wind threat, which is only a 15% wind threat, which I think for most part, I think our wind threats definitely gonna come out of our more clustered storms out here right now. They dropped the tornado confirmed on that now. So we're back to no confirmed tornadoes as of right now. Although, of course, we're going to be having to watch for the rotation on this. Although it's going to be kind of difficult. Although, from what I at least can infer from at least us being from far away with the radars, that this is at least broadly rotating for the most part. Definitely going to be watching this area near Albion right now. That is definitely an area to watch for. I don't know if there's no Torapalsag on it, though. One thing we'll have to do this soon though is eat some food. Like some actual food and not dorm hall food. But yeah, and more on the risk that we have outlined right now. We have a 45, we have a 30%, and then we have a big old area right now that has a SIG one for large hail, up to 2 inches diameter. We actually have one down here too. 5% with SIG one, which is interesting. But the main area we're looking at is the Ark-La-Tex region and southeastern Oklahoma for large hail. We've already had a couple of hail ports up here that were large hail as well. I think we have more cells starting to fire off. I don't know. Do we have I don't know if this is a dry line setup or is it cold front. This looks to be a cold front type setup here, not dry line. Yesterday was a dry line. Which the southwest side of the setup did not end up well, there were some showers of storms that fired up down there, but it didn't really do much down there. Probably just, well, at least I could tell it was mainly because of forcing. Which you can have you can have like all the forcing in the world, but if it's not if you could have it like not oriented in the right way, and storms won't sustain themselves, or storms won't fire up. Yeah, one 21 you could be going for another 45 minutes, and the other one going for 15. One second. All right. I will have to be right back. I do have to eat dinner. Alright, I am back, everybody. I can unpin this now. Still got tornado warning still ongoing in Oklahoma for, well, we got one is Bucks Power, one is in next 2 minutes here, but we got another one that's going for 32 minutes. So they'll be down to about half hour soon here. Still watching this particular cell right here. And perhaps a cell just northeast of it too. So we'll probably need to keep an eye on this cell as well, although this looks to be mainly wind and hail at the moment. I need to clear my nose. Alright, they have extended the tornado warning down to Adele, Stanley, Dunbar. So it's going southeast again, potentially here. This thing's been kind of like shifting all over the place with where it's sitting at. Well, I wouldn't say shifting all over the place, but it's been kind of going here and then there, but... Anyways, if you're in these towns here in this tornado warning, make sure you're getting a safe place as you're now in a tornado warning. Although, even in an old tornado warning, I mean, if you're in Adele, you were in the other tornado warning that is, I think it just expired out about, or is going to expire out soon here. What is with my nose, man? Ugh. Yeah, but not, well, that is definitely side lobe contamination, because you would expect the rotation to be down here, not in here. And that just updated. That is now observed golf ball size hail, and radar indicated 6 mile per winds, but observes golf ball size hail. Yeah, for what I had for dinner, I had breakfast for dinner. That was very good. I wonder what this looks like on... I want to look at Mosaic radar. That also just reminds me too. I could probably take a look at look at the rest of what the risk area looks like in terms of storms too. Wow, that is definitely an outflow boundary there, or yeah, that would be the outflow boundary from earlier that was left from this morning. Because there were storms that rolled through this morning, I think into early afternoon, I think. And they kind of left an outflow boundary, and outflow boundaries essentially leave a enhanced area of vorticity or spin, so that allows for storms to rotate, or at least have an extra area to kind of spin and potentially produce. They don't always produce, but now let me go over to... Hold on, I need to sneeze real quick. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking I have allergies at this point. Because it was like this yesterday, too. Which, I mean, my nose hasn't been quite to the point where it's clogged or anything, but could be sinus. Why is everything with the nose weird when it comes to allergies or the sinuses, man? It's just... Yeah. But anyways, go over to this. Here we go. Okay, so here is. Okay, how could I show this the best way possible here? So here's your storm. That's a weird bug right there. But yeah, here's your storms firing off of our cold front here, which I actually do want to turn on. Where's the METAR data at? Station plots right here. Okay, there we go. Although it seems like the cold front's still more up towards somewhere over here, perhaps. This is like a weird pseudo cold front type of thing, where it's a cold front, but it doesn't act like a typical cold front. But you can see the outflow boundary here. I could actually go to, let me go to Arkansas here with the localized sector or sub-regional, if I can. Try to get to the best point possible I can show this. There we go. So yeah, there's your outflow right in there. That is initiating a lot of storms. You have all this cumulus ahead of that too, just south and southwest of it. And when these cumulus clouds, because when you get rising motion, you get clouds. And these cumulus clouds, I mean, these are the type. I mean, cumulus clouds is cumulus clouds eventually turn it. Well, they can explode into cumulonimbus clouds, like we've been seeing in some of these areas here. And this outflow boundary basically pushes those cumulus clouds to basically doing that. I need some water. That's one thing I need. Wow. Okay, that's actually. I mean, it's a basement area, so it's gonna be colder in the basement. But I was not expecting this water to be that cold when I went to go drink it. I mean, I'll take it. I mean, cold water's good. And I accidentally spiked my audio again. Sorry, headphone users. All right, looking at latest velocity scans here, which once again we're kind of far from radar here. Which just looking aloft, the rotation seems to be a lot more broad than it was earlier. And I can imagine if we go up another tilt here, yeah, even the next tilt, which is, yeah, I mean, even like going up in tilts, which going up in tilts in a beam, I mean, you lose detail, but it also does allow you to kind of, it's almost kind of like taking a slice of cake, right? You have different layers, and you can look at different layers. Or if you're into like rocks and stuff like that, you have different layers of different rock layers and the earth. And wow, that is a hail spike and a half right there. Okay, I need to turn down my sensitivity. Hold on one second. I think that should be better, I hope. And that is actually warned right now for 3-inch size hail. Where is this sitting at in terms of our hail threat? This is sitting in our 30% area. We haven't any reports at all yet in terms of large hail. We have a new surge running over in the near the Fort Smith area for core size hail, which is mainly a core size hail threat right now. Nothing in terms of wind, although I wouldn't rule out maybe some like a couple breeze, like a breeze from that probably, but And this is yeah, they put this is a destructive storm, so that would make it a PDS severe thunderstorm warning. Do they have the no? This one from being warned for golf ball all the way up to 3 inch. Wow, that is a jump in and hail size. It's 1 for 70. Yeah, I'm not surprised this is 1 for 70 because this is more like clustered over here, and these are I mean they're discrete to semi discrete over here, which does make me wonder. I mean the tornado threat's there, no doubt about that. But I think our wind and hail threat's definitely gonna be showing a little bit more, I would say, compared to the tornado threat, perhaps at least for right now. Because looking at surface of 1 kilometer shear, yeah, there's not a ton of little shear. Although I do wonder, let me take a look at yeah, that would explain probably some rotation in some of these storms as the vorticity, surface vorticity in this area. Oh my God, seriously. My nose, man. Ugh. Yeah, I definitely because yesterday I didn't take any sinus or allergy pills. I probably should today, just in case. Although I say that and I still don't end up doing so. Yeah. Wait, do I still have tornado confirmed? Or no, I still okay, I was gonna say, because I don't remember I took it down to if I took off the confirmed from earlier, which I did. Okay. Double checking myself, because there's been sometimes I forget to turn that off and there's like nothing underground at all. Yo, what's up, party cheese? It is Friday. It's no best day of the week, yes, indeed. It is the best day of the week. It's also a day of the week where I don't have to worry about I mean, I stay up late anyways during the week, but it's like the one day of the week where I don't have to worry about things the next day, and then especially in the case of doing severe weather live streams, I can easily go live or something. Considering that I don't have something else going on today, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know what that was. I kind of wish, because I know there's a radar in Durant, Oklahoma, but it's not like public. I kind of wish some of the private radars were public, because then it would make, especially south and southeast Oklahoma, much easier to cover. Bro, I don't know. I don't remember if I've showed this on stream or not before with Because when I was in Hershey, Pennsylvania, because there was a car museum I went to over there, and they had these, which was Matchbox Storm Trackers, which I'm like me. So yeah, that was perfect. Perfect, fine for me. Uh, I was not expecting to find that either. I think what I should do, cause at the top here, cause I have a bunch of signs, I could put that in a one spot where I can't really put any signs, but I can put some like smaller things right in a slot, and I could probably pin those Matchbox cars to that section there. And there's actually, I mean, I recently started filling up more of Hot Wheels and Matchbox wall over here, but there's one spot in the top left corner that it's gonna be a pain to kind of get to because I have a cabinet in my PC tower right there. So that's gonna be interesting. Unless I like somehow move this, unless I decide to like move this monitor I'm looking at right now, and then put the PC on top of my desk and move the cabinet. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. All right, we are tornado warning list now. Uh, I will say for today, I'm not really expecting anything super crazy in terms of tornadoes. We're definitely gonna be seeing definitely that hail threat for sure. Something in my mouth. And this tornado watch, by the way, goes till 9 p.m. Central, which is in the next 3 hours that this expires out. And let me take. Do I do not have IEM bot up, or well, the IEM bot monitor, I should say, which I feel like I should probably have up. Which the last mesoscale discussion was a half hour ago. Which here, let me show you that. So here's the mesoscale discussion from earlier, and they have in this section between Arkansas, Texas, and Oklahoma with the greater relative tornado potential. Because this is, I mean, you have your outflow boundary in here too, which if a storm attaches to an outflow boundary, then you have once again you have enhanced vorticity, and then that allows it to spin. Which well, vorticity is spin, and they have peak probability with hail, which is 3 inches or larger, and tornado probabilities with peak intensity with 100 to 125, which is in the ballpark. I think that's like EF1 to EF2, which Sig 1 I know is, I mean, reasonable max I know is EF2, but there's some, I forget what the like the specific statistics were. I think it was like 7% for EF3 in a Sig 1 or something like that. But anyways, we'll go back to radar. Although I don't know if we really have much going on. We do have the severe dust warning up here, warned for tennis ball size hail. We have a flood advisory over here for it's gonna be going for an hour for low lying and poor drainage areas. Got some gustier winds over here. Not super strong gusty winds though. Over here near just over here between Morgan Springs and Hay Creek, Haw Creek, Oklahoma, but Morgan Springs, Arkansas. Which I mean, Let me take a look at shear again, because I think our surface to 6 kilometer shear is has greater like values, and even surface to 3 has much higher values than our surface to 1. And a new mesoscale is coming out. Portions of western Nebraska. And that is for hail up to $half and 6 mile per hour winds, which I think there's a, if I remember, there's a there's a marginal risk up there for wind. Yeah. Is there one for, yeah, there's for hail. I knew it was for wind average. I know there was wind on it earlier, but I don't know, I didn't know if they added hail or not onto it from what I was looking at earlier, but. And then we have this marginal risk over here from Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, all the way up to Michigan, which Indiana today actually did have a tornado. Well, Indianapolis, to be specific, did have a tornado warning today, which I'm just like, I'm just like, okay, well, here goes the Midwest doing whatever the Midwest does for this year, because the Midwest this year has been quite interesting, I shall say, for this year for sure. I don't know about you guys, but definitely been interesting for the Midwest this year. All right, let's see what we got. Sporadic downburst winds will be possible over the next 1 to 2 hours in that section where they have that marginal risk in Nebraska. And you got some dry dew points up there too. You got like, I don't know if that's North Platts. Oh, let me take it home. Let me go to the METAR data on here real quick if I can get to it. North America, temperature. So here's the temperatures for up here. So you got dew points in the high 60s to low 70s. And then if we go over to the dew point, yeah, very low dew points. Okay, so yeah, I was right. That is North Platts METAR station, or ACE. Well, it's called the ASOS station, but this is METAR data. Called METAR data. So 66.9 degrees, dew point 30. That is dry. I'm sorry, that's a -22 dew point over near Denver. What's the low? Is that the lowest on the map that I can at least see? I think that might be the lowest I can see, at least on here. That has a METAR station, ASOS station, for data that we can take a look at. That's one thing I can take a look at too. We can take a look at, because I know we were looking at on Radar Omega, but I could also look at storm reports on here on Weatherwise, which looks like we've had a couple of reports of some large hail. We got this one here, which was a tennis ball size hailstone estimated. We got this one here, which is also 2.5 inches as well. And we had a 1 inch size hailstone near Witch Hole and Bromide, Oklahoma. That is another, once again, interesting name for town names. Anyways, turn this off. Why am okay? I'm lagging like crazy right now on Weatherwise. I check my thing here. I mean, I'm not using that much memory or GPU. What'd you have for dinner? I had breakfast for dinner. So I had like bacon, sausage, pancakes, a French toast. It was all really good stuff. essentially. And the nice thing is, I know I'm not gonna be hungry for a while. Because that's the one thing about homemade. That's one thing about the homemade food here is won't be hungry for a while. Although even outside of eating dinner, I still like snack on stuff anyways. But but yeah, it's fulfilling unlike dorm food. That's real. I do not do it. Okay, if this thing would stop like lagging like absolute crazy. Let's get to the Warnock forecast system. Access real time. Ow. I didn't realize that. Wait, what did I click? Oh, okay, that's interesting. So they have the Warnock forecast and then also MPass apparently. At least in the section of the MPass from yesterday. And then today, wait, what did I miss on here? What is this because I'm on a National Severe Storms Laboratory? What version of the Warnock forecast system am I on here? That has the MPass. Oh, another thing too, from yesterday, because there was that tornado emergency in tornado emergency over in Edmond, Oklahoma. Natural Service Oklahoma found EF4 damage. They originally had a preliminary EF3. I think it's now preliminary EF4 right now. They're still ongoing surveying over there as well. Which just considering from what I've seen, it's definitely. I mean, obviously surveys gotta take a while. Cleanups are always gotta take a while, especially after tornadoes like that too. There was no fatalities as well with that tornado. This is okay. I was about to say they this severe dust warning is about to expire out soon here. All right, they warned it for now 2-inch size hail and 6 mile per hour winds. See here, still seeing quite a bit of talk about Monday, because Monday is another day people have been talking about where it'd be one of the bigger days for severe weather in terms of next week. Which right now there's your enhanced risk again for tomorrow. Which there's another 5% with Sig 1 tomorrow as well. I would not be surprised because I mean you got that 30% win, but no Sig. There is the hill, with 30% with Sig. I would not be surprised if like today we have a another 45%. I don't know about the win threat, but we'll have to see what happens tomorrow, I guess, with that. And then day 3, we have an enhanced risk, which is in Kansas and a little bit of Missouri as well, and also northern Oklahoma here, northwestern Oklahoma. And then day 4 is the enhanced risk, which used to be just orange dot down here, but now has been extended towards up here in eastern Iowa and even into central and northern Illinois and portions of actually south and southwestern Wisconsin as well. Which when I was looking at this, I'm like, well, this looks like it's like almost like the shape of just if you guys remember Pi Day or March 14th last year, where it was kind of shaped like that too, but obviously completely different setup when it comes to environmental wise with kinematics and thermodynamics, but looks like it's now sub-severe with this one here. So some smaller hail on that. So it went from quarter size to below quarter size hail. The only severe dust warning you have out right now is this one with the or well, the ones with a tornado possible tag, I should say, is this one right here over near Clayton, Oklahoma. Wonder because I know it can go far back with data on weather-wise and greater omega. So there's a tornado port. Oh wow. And I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday on stream, but I know I looked at it on Twitter. The ASOS station over near the Vance Air Force Base got a magnitude of 107 mile per hour wind gust there. Which that's some strong winds. And that's outside of tornado too. That's like winds you would see. Well, not that you couldn't obviously tornadoes have it, but just seeing from an ASOS station, you would see something like that from like the Rate Show or something like that, or MCS. I have new Cerritos running over here for core size hail. Was this the cell that was severe one? It was. So it dropped below. Oh no, it's been continuing to be severe. It's just that the old Cerritos warning kind of just went poof. So it's holding on to its severeness, but it's mainly hail looks like compared to the wind threat with that one in specific. I'm kind of curious. Let me if I can spell the town name properly and not fat finger my keyboard. Yeah, so the last update we got about Ednid was 3 hours ago. And that was when National Service Norman mentioned EF4 damage, which I can pull that up. So here is that post that National Source Norman made earlier. Can I seriously? What is this with this PC? I seriously don't know if it's a graphics card issue or something. But yeah, here is the post from earlier from National Service Norman, and yeah, you can see the just some of the photos from the damage of what this called, the tornado that went through here and then causes the damage you see in these photos here. Which looks like they found, looks like it says at least 4 spots southwest and southeast of Enid, Oklahoma, with EF4 damage. I do wonder, I don't know if, because, I mean, I don't know if this is on DAT or not. I do wonder if it is. Probably not, but we'll check. Seriously, what is with this lag? This is the one thing about this PC. It has the weirdest lag issues I've ever seen in my life. Now, let me close out Radar Omega, because that could be an issue. Nope, that did not fix the issue. Or did it? It did not. Okay, whatever. Alright, so it is on the DAT. And it looks like they do have EF4 on this, it looks like. I just realized I did not go to the thing. Oh, that was a weird hiccup. I need to turn up my sensitivity a little bit. What is, okay, seriously. Where are these hiccups coming from, man? Okay, here's that, I did not ask you to zoom in, DAT. I'll zoom in anyways, but here's that, that damage line with this tornado from yesterday, which, yeah, it's, as of right now, it's sitting at an EF4 rating. They have max win at 170 on that as well. 10 injuries, however. No fatalities. Right, keeping an eye on this. They've got a couple areas that are potentially rotating here. One near Caney, and then another one near the south of Milburn. Those would be a couple areas just to watch for right now. Trying to readjust sitting in my chair. My shorts. My mouse cursor. Okay, there. I'm like, where did my mouse cursor go? It's like halfway across the earth. Yeah, seriously, I'm like trying to readjust. Okay, there we go. Good to go now. I don't know why I was having issues. Also, that is well, because where I mean, you guys can definitely tell the difference between my setup in my dorm and then this setup here, where where I look like my camera's more level with my like upper body. This one's more like, I mean, the camera's above my head, like way above my head, so it's like up here, like right here. But yeah, where my monitor sit, which my monitor sit up higher than the one at my dorm. One nice thing though is at least the monitors here are at least level with my eyesight. I'm not having to like look down and all that. And a tornado watch is being updated. Still got that's still be going till 9 p.m. here. That's one thing, because there's some stuff I haven't ported over to my PC yet with my Firefox on here, but I have on well, everything on my laptop is not on my Firefox right now when it comes to bookmarks of what I have. Why is this not loading now? Do not okay. Firefox at my PC. Do not be like the one at my dorm where it doesn't want to load things properly. Or is that just it might just be Pivot Weather being Pivot Weather. Yeah, because College DuPage. Yeah, because College DuPage loads perfectly fine. So I don't know what's up with that. I'm surprised because what I'm looking at here, I'm surprised that Tuesday and even potentially Wednesday for next week doesn't have well, I mean those are this would be what's Monday on here, day 4. Surprised day 5 and 6 don't have any potential with an outline there. I mean, I am just looking at the Euro, but probably not enough confidence to go out that far as of right now. Or at least in terms of not enough confidence, severe weather that far out. Like, oh, let me show you guys this. If I can drag the thing. Alright. So here, this is 12Z Euro. So this is at 12Z Friday, so 7 this morning. We go to 12 tomorrow. Or not 12. Well, 12Z tomorrow. That's 7 a.m. tomorrow. Here are dew points. Let me go a little bit more in here, because this is where we're looking at in terms of severe weather for tomorrow. Which our dew points do get up there and into the evening hours. And that the moisture continues, looks like, into even like Monday, like all pretty much all night, all day and night into Sunday, and even into Monday too. And then obviously that moves off towards east towards our next severe threat area, which is in enhanced risk over here. And then we go farther out. Still have quite a bit of dew points out here. I'm kind of curious though. Wonder what that would probably explain why. Because our forcing would be more far north compared to it being towards the south. That does make me wonder if we have some weather down here, it'd probably be a case where we have a cold front because way south potentially. But let's take a look at our temp. Actually, take a look at our temperatures here, because that might give a better idea. Maybe a cold front, perhaps, if there were to be any severe weather any day after Monday. They have extended that severe dorsal warning. This is now warned for 2-inch hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds. Once again, weird areas that are being like weird polygon areas here to being issued. Do we have anything new so far? I mean, we really haven't had too much in terms of anything in terms of new mesoscale discussions for the most part. Apparently, there's a tornado, EF1 tornado Thursday night in Joplin. But seriously, I swear, this is like the theme for these streams now, where issues my nose, something in my eye. Like, man, can I get a break, maybe? Oh, another thing too, because obviously Easter was just a couple weeks back at this point, but this it, I don't know what it is, but the like anything Reese's that have shapes on it, they taste better than anything like the regular products. It's weird. Oh, they did add. Okay, I was like, I don't think I had a tornado pasta tag or not to either of these, but they did. All right, they issued another spiritual warning that kind of covers the rest of the area here. So yeah, still these two areas here that have been consistently the two areas to watch for when it comes to tornado threat. Over here, I mean, still got to throw a policy on it, but this one is, I feel like, has been kind of winding down a little bit in terms of tornado threat compared to these two over here. Seriously, what is this? I got to figure out what this computer when it comes to this lag, man. I think what I'm gonna do at some point, because I got the RAM needed. My CPU should be fine. Probably just GPU. I probably would need to just figure out what's going on with that, and then from there, probably good. Maybe. So I'm not surprised if this gets tornado warned at some point over near Bentley, Oklahoma. Oh, excuse me. Making all kind of noises with my mouth today. Water. I'll pull up Brand Cop Extreme. Why not? And it's right there on the front page of the homepage. Nice. Seems like this is a little bit more broad in terms of rotation now compared to potentially this one over here near Bentley. This is a new one? Yeah, this is a new severe dust warning for tennis ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. As I say, because I don't think, yeah, there's no, well, I know there's a cyclone port over in, let me check, where's that? That is the storm. Oh, no, there's a cyclone port over in Denison, Texas. Oh, that's, I mean, it's pointing towards the north, I would think. Yeah, it's pointing towards the north. But, I don't think we're really gonna get any, storms that are right on top of that camera there. Let's see what Tornado, because Tornado Pagey and the CJ's Ziegler's on this. Okay, apparently Tornado Pagey stream's not working on Radar Omega. Probably data issue, if I had to guess. And where CJ's at, there's a lot of trees. This is okay. So this Air Swing does have Tornado Pos Tag, not this one though. This one does have. This one doesn't have Tornado Pos Tag either on it. I would not be surprised if the area near Bentley is strongly rotating potentially. I think we're starting to get into the area where we have the, at least in terms of maybe some slightly better vorticity. Sure, still not super great at the lower levels. So looks like we got broad rotation on the one over near Armstrong, Oklahoma, and still trying to figure out what's going on with the one over near Bentley. Which it looks like contamination in terms of some of the rotation, like side lobe contamination, and just being far from radar in general. So I've readjusted sitting at how I'm sitting in my chair like a million times at this point. All right, I'll be right back real quick. All right. All right, still got multiple severe dose warnings. All right, so what I'm gonna do is see if not having my browser at full screen will help. Nope, I'm still lagging. What is with this lag? Seriously. Yeah, I don't know. It's. So the answer to that is my PC is weird. Yeah. That's the answer to that. Alright, let me just do this. And then I can do this. Alright. Alright, well so far we haven't really had any tornado warnings. Mostly rotation for the most part. Which I think a lot of our, other than these storms probably trying to attach themselves to something when it comes to probably some type of boundary. Um I think our storms are definitely gonna be struggling for the most part. Definitely gonna be mainly wind and hail for, I think, for a good majority of our threat for today. How far down is the hail threat? Goes all the way down here, and these storms just entered that northern half of that 45% and well 30% areas. Current risk goes all the way down here. One thing I probably will have to check after I'm done streaming here is probably check my drivers for my GPU, because there's a chance this could be a driver issue. But even with older drivers, I would expect this to hold itself like decently. But you got a new sort of running toward pause tag, course I sail, 6 mile per hour winds. And I think we've only had one tornado port today, I would imagine. Yeah, one tornado port so far today. All right, we'll take a look at the forecast miles, and then well, probably in a little bit. Just continue to watch these just in case these dudes and in case these dudes end up doing something. Which so far it's been mainly wind and hail with these. Would not be surprised. One thing I would not be surprised if we have some type of rotation with these though. Wonder, you know what? Let me go to the display settings real quick. So I wonder if it could be the case where because my main monitor runs at 185 instead of 144. So let me change my hertz rate on the main monitor here. See if that helps at all. Nope, that did not help at all. So it's probably just a GPU issue at this point, because I have no idea. Because I know I have all of my settings correct. And video settings, so, or at least I hope so. Yeah, definitely gonna be checking a few things after I'm done streaming here. Which I think for the most part we're just gonna be seeing these kind of just rotate. Doesn't seem like, I mean, For right now, it seems like we have mainly wind and hail compared to a tornado threat right now. But there's a chance I'll probably be live again tomorrow. Which I don't know what time I'll be live again tomorrow. I'll let you guys know in a post. Probably, well, once I make a post for tomorrow's threat. And Monday, I definitely will be live Monday for sure. But Sunday seems like it could have some issues when it comes to a dry line setup, from what I've seen. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next stream I do. I know this was kind of a shorter stream, but to be honest, I need to figure out what's going on with this PC and OBS, because I don't know if it's just OBS being OBS and lagging my entire PC or what. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next stream, which will be tomorrow. Hopefully, I won't have the issues I have today. And yeah, have multiple ways to get alerts, and I'll see you in the next one.